previous jobs, I've been a teacher and then an outdoor education instructor, and I was teaching canoeing and kayaking and travelling all over the place with different work, and now I make bread. It's just that quest, I guess, for that perfect loaf, which never ever comes out of the oven. There was nowhere where you could walk in a shop where there's ovens in the back room and a guy's pulled out a mixture of flour, water and salt. If you don't try it, you're always regretting it. I think if I got to 40 or 50 or 60 and had never done it, and then I was suddenly thinking, oh, that bakery would be great. Or if 10 years down the line, someone's running an amazing bakery in Liverpool and I was going to do it 5 years before them, I think I just kicked myself. The real thought of, are we going to do this, or could I do this, when there was a bakery up for sale in Liverpool? And it didn't work out, and then I started looking at premises, and then my sister Grace was going to become involved.
The reason we went into baking was obviously because Sam had an amazing skill.
The first loaf I baked like 10 years ago was because our local baker had closed down. So I thought, oh well, the only other place is a supermarket, and I was really unhappy with the quality of bread they were doing. So I got an old dusty cookbook from my mum's shelves, and I tried a loaf of bread, and it was probably, I think I loved it, but it was probably pretty rubbish at the time. And then the next time you go, oh, I can make it a little bit better. And then you can make it a little bit better. All of a sudden, you're on internet bread forums discussing how to make the perfect loaf at 2 in the morning, having an argument with someone because their formula for their baguettes has 2% more water than you, or 5 grams more salt. You know, you just kind of get a little bit obsessed. So our standard sourdough loaves take 36 hours to make, from the first mixing of the sourdough starter to them coming out the oven and onto the cooling racks is a 36-hour process. And again, it's just that strive to bake a really lovely loaf of bread, you know, that has great taste, great texture, looks good, has no additives, no chemicals, no preservatives, nothing like that.
When there's chain restaurants, the product, the quality, it slides, and it isn't as good, it isn't as delicious, and you don't find as many interesting things. You know what to expect from these places.
They want just bread that's good, not elaborate and fancy, and not full of, you know, too many things, but just tastes really nice. We get all ages. We get, you know, from young people, sort of 17, 18 students. We're getting young families bringing their kids in who just want nice things to eat. And hopefully we get a reputation for that, for doing nice bread and then nice food to eat. There's spaces in Liverpool that would make great bakeries or great restaurants, but people with real passion for food or bread or whatever can't open up in them because they can't afford it. And that's where you get some big chain with millions of pounds behind it, and they can open something that is in every town. And there's loads of great bakeries in the UK, but there isn't another Baltic Bakehouse, and there isn't anyone else doing my bread. And I could go to another bakery that's selling wonderful sourdough, and it's nothing like my bread. It's not better, it's not worse, it's just, you know, can be really different. There's nothing better than reaching into the oven with the big shovel and pulling out a loaf of bread, you know, that's, you know, perfectly baked. That's the best part. What's really great for me is people who don't know us, people who are coming off the street and said, I think that loaf of bread's lovely, I'm coming back for a second one today. And that's what really, you know, what you really like when people come in and want to buy your products because they think it's a good product. That's a real support. Or you run a bakery, it's always something that people can find interesting. I get it is part of me now. I spend so much time here, it couldn't not be, you know. I've committed so much to the place that it has to be part of me. This is what I've chosen to do. So I guess that makes it quite important. I'm Sam, I'm the head baker at Baltic Bakehouse. I basically spend my days up to my elbows in dough.